Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item. Current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
I'm trying to go on without you here in my life. I don't want to accept the fact that you're no longer mine. Just to know that somebody else is holding and kissing you. It makes a guy like me feel like I'm a fool. So
I'll do anything you want. Yes, my word is bond. Baby, I was wrong. Please forgive me for what I'm done. I'm sorry. I'll do anything you want. Wah, 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 wah. Break it down. Wah, wah, and wah, 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 wah.
whoa ha whoa ha ha
Wah, wah,
whoa ha whoa ha
wah,
whoa ha whoa ha whoa ha whoa ha. Everybody, welcome back to the Blackest Show About Nothing. It's Jaden XD. Yeah, Blackest Show About Nothing. We missed you all last week.
Oh, we did so much.
Yeah. But you know, we was needed a reset, recharge, and we back.
Yeah.
A lot of things happened while we were gone. So first things first, Jade of all Jades, hit us with the
yes. We're on day 291 of the ongoing genocide in Gaza. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's getting, if you can believe, it's getting worse and worse and worse. The IOF started a military operation in the east of Khan Yunis, but they are still in Rafah, and they took the east of Khan Yunis, so all of the safe areas are becoming smaller and smaller for hundreds of thousands of people. They still claim that they're targeting infrastructure for quote-unquote terrorists, but we know what time it really is. They're really just trying to eradicate as much of Gaza as possible. They don't want Gazans to feel home anywhere. Anywhere in the Gaza Strip. This is forced immigration, essentially, is what it is. So they used the same technique in the 1948 Nakba when they sent Palestinians to Syria and Lebanon and Jordan, Egypt. And they're just essentially want to displace them, make them depressed, and kill their spirits if they aren't already killed physically. Also, samples of the polio virus were found in the sewage water in the Gaza Strip, especially the north, and sewage is collecting everywhere, and it's overflowing and leaking through the holes where bombs have blown, and so therefore all of the people are exposed to the polio virus, and they're currently vaccinating the IOF soldiers, but preventing any medical care, any vaccinations, any medications, anything from getting into Gaza. Now, I want to talk a little bit about support this week. I made sure I did my research. And so there is an organization by the name of Ele Elna Elak, which in Arabic means what we own, you own. And they're a group formed by volunteer students in 2018 that provides food and warm clothes and blankets, etc., to thousands of families in need. So you can donate to Ele Elna Elak by clicking on the link in the description box. It will have the GoFundMe, and it breaks down exactly how these funds are received in Gaza and how it's able to support them. And what they're doing right now is essentially handing out clean water, because it's gotten so bad there. Not only is there a food shortage and crisis, which is not even a shortage. This is intentional famine is what it is. Like, they are blocking aid and food from getting in. But LA El Elak are on the grounds, and they are dispersing clean water to as many residents as possible. So again, that link will be in the description box if you are able to donate anything. And then we are on day 466 of the ongoing genocide in Sudan. There are still over 6,000 refugees trapped in the Aulala wilderness of northern Ethiopia for the last 83 days. And there's been more than 2 armed attacks in the last week alone, injuring at least 17 and killing 2 people, a husband and a wife named Mamuna and Imran, who sought refuge after a shell fell on their house in Sudan, which also severely injured one of their 5 children. And so Memuna was shot in the head and Imran was shot in the chest. So they leave 5 small children behind. And again, one of them was severely injured when the shell fell on their home. In the last few months, there's been over 2,000 attacks. And this particular attack came hours after Ethiopian officials threatened the refugees to relocate or they would be removed by force. So not only are these people having to run and flee from their homes and seek safety, they're in the middle of the wilderness and they're being told they need to go elsewhere, and they're being attacked by the armed forces, which is disgusting. They literally shot a mother and a father in the head and in the chest. There's still a massive hunger and water crisis in a severe water shortage in besieged and heavily bombarded areas. Karari is one particular area that's been hosting many refugees, and they have a proposal for a sustainable water solution as they're currently being rationed water. The water tank is what brings the water in to assist them, but this is still unfiltered water, and this is to one community, and they have to pay for this water tank. So they want to purchase 10 water tanks to provide water to 3 different sections of the Karari Umdaman area, as well as a water filtration system. And all they're asking for is us to donate $850, which will assist in getting those 10 water tanks and starting the plan for getting that water filtration system, because these are basic human needs. Again, these are vetted sources, and so you can send that directly. I speak very often about Sarah, BS on Blast, who we're going to have on the show very soon to speak to us about Sudanese culture and the conflict. But her Venmo is BS on Blast, BLAST. That will also be in the description box. And Sarah is in direct communication with these organizations that are putting together these plans to get the civilians on the ground the clean water that they need and deserve. So again, these are sources that are vetted. We only bring them here if they're vetted. And I want to speak about Sonia Massey. A 36-year-old black woman out of Springfield, Illinois, who was fatally shot by, and I'm going to call his name, he was a deputy sheriff. His name is Sean P. Grayson. Okay, because he deserves to be fucking held accountable for this bullshit. If you don't have the stomach to watch the video, it's fully understandable. I'm going to tell you about it, because as much as we also talk about what's going on worldwide, we cannot forget what's happening at home. And Sonia was... She was in the safest place that she could have possibly been that she should have been able to be, in her home, with her bonnet on and her nightie, her muumuu, her house dress. I bring that up specifically because the representation of a muumuu and a bonnet for us is the epitome of, I should be safe in my space. This is my safe space. This is my comfort space. I've had a long day. I'm out in this world being who I am all day, every day. When I come here, this is my time to decompress, to be comfortable. And she was killed in her bonnet and in her nightie after she called the police because she was hearing noises and she needed to make sure that she was safe. So she called them to come and protect her. Another really alarming note from all of this is when the police showed up to her house, you could hear it on the camera. She says, "Please don't hurt me." They respond to her condescendingly, "Why would we hurt you? We came here because you called." After they realize there was no intruder in the area, they go inside. They ask her last name. She is shaken. And I don't know what other circumstances. I'm not going to make any judgments, but she clearly was shaken up. She finally tells them her last name. They say, "Let's make this easy. Give us your ID." Why does she need to give you her ID in her home? So she goes to get her ID. They ask her then to turn off a boiling pot of water that is on the stove. They tell her, "Go turn that off so there's no fires." She goes to turn the boiling pot of water off. Things escalated very quickly. It's almost like they provoked her. Not even provoked her. He goes, "What?" He's like, "You're not going to do anything with me with that water." She didn't even threaten to do anything with that water. But she says to this man, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." Now, that's not really my zhuzh and my jam. But this feels spiritual. Because the way that man turned into a full-blown demon, as if he was seen in that moment, he pulled his gun out and put it in her face and threatened to shoot her in her face. After they asked her to turn off this pot of boiling water, she is shaken up in her home, and the man shot her in the face. She could never have killed him with a pot of boiling water. He was not even right there for her to do anything with this pot of boiling water. And you shoot her in her face, in her home, in her nightie, in her bonnet, where she should be the safest, in the clothes that she feels the most comfortable and the most cozy in. You kill her and she dies on the ground alone, gasping for breath. And I bring this up because the Baltimore law enforcement officials, along with hundreds of others from Florida to New Jersey to Pennsylvania, California, Arizona, Connecticut, New York, Massachusetts, North Carolina, Georgia, Washington State, Illinois, as well as the DC capital, have all traveled to Israel for training, for police training. And thousands of other police officers receive training from Israeli officials here in the U.S. And so while many of these trips are taxpayer funded, others are privately funded. And since 2002, the Anti-Defamation League, the American Jewish Committee's Project Interchange, and Jewish Institute for National Security Affairs have paid for the police chiefs, assistant chiefs, and captains to train in Israel and the occupied Palestinian territories. So when you ask why the fuck we talk about this every week, I don't want to hear this. What does this have to do with us? We got enough going on our own, which we will talk about in a second. We talk about this for these very specific reasons, because they are all connected. Sonia Massey's murder is directly linked and connected to the oppression happening in Palestine, is directly connected and linked to what is happening in the genocide in Sudan, is directly linked to what is happening in the Congo. All of this is connected and linked. And this is why we talk about this every day.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Whew. Yeah. My political news corner is a bit different this week, because our show primarily today is about the last 2 weeks in American politics. But I wanted to talk about, in our own way, but I wanted to talk about, you mentioned this before when talking about the woman that was murdered by the police officer. It's very difficult to say Black Lives Matter when you don't concern yourself with the lives of the living. And I say that to say is that we had Travell Anderson on the show, and Travell wrote a piece for GLAAD and discovered that the fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, has will be adapting or instituting a anti-trans clause and rule in their intake process.
Yep.
I have a complicated relationship to Greek life, and I we don't have to discuss it, but what I will say is the fact that if you are in an organization that is, and most of them are dedicated to community service, or as they're purported to be,
okay,
then why on earth would you be exclusive to because everybody, even trans men, are a part of your community as well. So I'm a little confused and dumbfounded by that, but I also sadly am not surprised, because like the other day, somebody had they were doing all these calls for Kamala, right? So like the black women for black women Kamala, they raised like a shit ton of money for her in like 20 minutes or something or whatever. And then the next night was, the black men's version. And somebody had sent it to me and they were like, come on, join the call or whatever. And I was like, I'm not joining this because of the fact that this is where the personal politics get involved with like the national ones, right? Because I'm like, all these people, leaders on the call, they're all a part of these organizations that are exclusive to the communities I belong in, right? And so it's hard for me to get hip with you when we're not all in one accord, right? So someone was like, well, this is our democracy is at stake. I was like, well, that's untrue because we're not a democracy.
No, we're not. This is
we're an oligarchy and moving to a fascism. But what I will say is that guilting people or having I'll say it bluntly. You know what I hate? I hate blah, 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 such and such, right? I hate those type of bitches because it's like, I'm not dumb. Like, I'm not, like, I promise I'm not dumb. And most of the people that you probably interact with aren't dumb either. Like, so you have to allow people
not the ones I intentionally interact with anyway.
Right. Like, you should err on the side of, like, this person is informed and making a sound decision on their part, right? But anywho, I say all that to say that our lives are at stake for black people, queer people, trans people, or whatever on the federal level, and it sucks. The big one that people we're supposed to be a community with, we're still trying to fight for their respect too, or their right to be seen. Right? Like, I don't people always talk about tradition, but tradition is only rooted in a space that people could only describe at that particular moment, right? So like everybody goes and talks about like the Constitution and or Bible even, right? I'm like, well, yeah, that was written where niggas didn't have the internet or Beyonce. You know what I mean? So it's a whole different world that we live in. So I can't imagine, like, why wouldn't we adapt to this new world to be more inclusive, to be like, you can be like, I don't want niggas that are musty in my organization. You can say that I don't want, like, I don't want niggas who, whatever. You know what I mean? There's other things that you can be exclusive about. However, when it comes to identity and people who want to join an organization that is supposedly for community service, right? Then there should be no denying them if they want to serve and organize on a local level like that. But yeah, it was very disheartening to read. And if you're a member of that organization, I hope you are imploring and encouraging your chapters to, you know, like whatever, call regionals, call nationals,
Call
and
up
be
a
like, hey, this
protest
is
against
fucked
this
up.
shit. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
like
saying?
this is
Like
fucked up.
this
And
is
even
very
on
fucked up.
and even for the sororities out there too, you know what I mean? And I know
Absolutely.
that
Who's their
you know,
sister? Who's their sister sorority?
Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority
AKA.
Incorporated. So like, and I
Okay.
know that Kamala is a member of stuff, and I know that there is, which I'll talk. I have a lot to say. There is,
I don't.
you know, there is a ultimately. Don't say Black Lives Matter if you're not concerned with the ones that are currently living, and that includes, you know, school boards, important things, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
having this idea of like trans people aren't going to hurt you, or
Hello.
and this idea of community policing, like, you know what I mean, like having this, we have to watch out for each other because clearly 911 is out to get us
Oh,
one way or
community
another.
again. And I'm gonna say this every week. Community is going to be the
Mm.
only thing that sustains us in this dumpster
Yeah.
fucking fire of a world that we live in. I,
Mm.
you know, we've been hearing a lot of speeches and things about one issue voters, especially because people are becoming completely awake, even more so to the corruption by all of the powers that be. Not that we were not hip to it, but now it's like very clear the revolution is completely being televised at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And
Live tweeted.
there's a thread by a Palestinian woman, but I think it encompasses a lot of what I'm feeling, and also why that interconnectedness that we talked about between all of these communities. And this is not. Ooh, there's a lot to say here.
Mm.
This is not this is not, you know, me coming and telling you all I'm not getting ready to shove you need to vote Democrat down your throats. I'm not doing that.
No.
That it does not also mean that I am telling you to go vote for Trump either, because you already know that's not even an option. I'm not telling you to do those things. I'm not telling you anything to do. I'm telling everybody to just be thoughtful in how they move. And I think this is the time where there doesn't need to be a lot of dissension and fighting as people are trying to figure out in a very confusing time how they need to move. And so this Palestinian woman named Janan, who I've brought up before, said, I am a one issue voter, because, you know, they talked about you don't want to be a one issue voter. I am a one issue voter. I am a one issue voter. My one issue is Palestine. I reject the colonization and exploitation of this planet and its resources, and recognize that Palestine is the epitome of the dangers of colonization happening on the world stage, and so my issue is Palestine. I care for and am concerned about the well-being of our planet, and refuse to accept that climate change is destined to be the remainder of our future. And I acknowledge that we must stop bombing this planet to a point where it is melting itself to rid itself of us, and so my issue is Palestine. I refuse to allow food to be weaponized against children, starving them to the point where malnourishment robs them of the opportunity to develop appropriately, be it by inflating food prices, limiting access to nourishing foods, cutting free food programs in schools, or intentionally starving an entire population to mental and physical weakness or to death, and so my issue is Palestine. I believe that education is a basic human right, and that robbing children of knowledge is a crime against humanity, be it via defunding their schools or bombing their schools into dust. I also believe that schools should be safe zones for children, not a place where they are to be murdered by an active shooter, nor by airstrikes when taking shelter, and so my issue is Palestine. I reject cop cities and the militarization of our societies, and so my issue is Palestine. I stand firmly in my belief that safe and affordable housing is a basic human right that all are entitled to, and reject the idea that it is normal for anyone to be unhoused for any reason, but especially because of an unstable, greedy market, and or because their home was destroyed in a bombing, and so my issue is Palestine. I believe that all people are created equally and deserve the right to live in safety and dignity, regardless of religious belief, race, ethnicity, gender, identity, and or sexual orientation, be they struggling for their right to be recognized or their right to simply live. And so my issue is Palestine. I am a one-issue voter, and that issue is connected to everything and everyone on this planet. And so my issue is Palestine. You can replace Palestine with Sudan. You can replace Palestine with black. You can replace Palestine with Black American. You can replace it with any oppressed person that you know. All of that still tracks and checks. And again, it's all connected. And so while we are confused, while things are in a fire state of flux and all kinds of things, the last thing we want to do is be fighting with somebody because they're trying to figure out how they want to move in a time like this.
Yeah. So, with that being said, gonna lighten it up, we promise.
Yeah, promise. It's not the whole episode, swear to God.
So let's take a break. Well, I'll do all the stuff that we usually do, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll get back to the fun stuff. So again, tell a friend every week where we at and where we be. Here every Friday. Also, become an agent of chaos. I was telling Jade yesterday, or whenever we spoke, the agents of chaos in the Discord are really, really, really special.
Y'all have my heart. Do you hear me? You have my heart.
There was a young person missing in Ohio. We've talked about this before. There's so many black children, black girls missing in Ohio for whatever reason. I hope it's not what I think it is, but whatever. We need to find these people. And so one of the agents put out an APB and was like, listen, y'all, can you post this? And even I posted it and make sure we could find this young person. And they did find the young person safe and well. Good. Not to say that Agents of Chaos was responsible, but the fact that we all mobilized and because we understand the importance of Black lives mattering, right?
Yeah, truly mattering.
And this is what I keep talking about. Like, you can't claim Black Lives Matter if you're not doing anything to preserve the living. And that really was like damn, this is a good community we got going on.
Absolutely.
So join our Patreon. It's $12.99 and $9.99 respectively. You get more with the $12.99 version. Also join our Discord where the Agents of Chaos reside and live. It's free to join. It's not like other podcasts where you got to become a member of the Patreon and join. No, we want you all to commune and free and get this information because a lot of good information comes through our Discord as well about like voting things and what's going on in local communities because a lot of you all live in similar communities and local, right? So a lot of good information out there. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube, where we keep it light and we have 90 Day Fiancé recaps and other stuff. Link in the description box wherever you're listening, along with news sources to follow regarding the genocides. All Plural. Of them. And so let's take a break. And we'll be back with something light.
Coconuts!
Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
All right, so the good people down to Magic Mind hit us up after us talking about how drained we were after an episode a while back. So they sent us some product to try. So bust it. Magic Mind is like a mental performance shot. So, like, you take it in addition to your daily routine, and the shot helps you get focused, mentally clear, motivated, and productive while reducing stress with mushroom nootropics and adaptogens and over 100% of your daily vitamin C and D per bottle. It's like these little mini bottles. They're really cute, and they can go and, your purse or your little bag. And since there's like a bunch of stuff going on in the world, and personally, I know I've been having a hard time focusing on work and just life. We've talked about that. And I've just been taking these shots. They taste pretty good, by the way, I must say. And now I've been taking it for about a week. And so I've been moving through my days a bit more focused and a little less foggy. I don't know what type of little magic they put in these bottles, but keep them coming. And it's comforting to know that these doctors created it with a whole bunch of scientific studies. I believe it was 200. And they're carbon neutral. And they do the work. They donate 5 cents for each bottle sold to mental health charities that help U.S. homeless communities, which is major. We all know how much we feel about community building and stuff like that. So our friends at Magic Mind has graciously provided a limited offer you can use right now, and that gets you up to 48% off your first subscription or 20% off one-time purchases with code JadeXD20 at checkout. Again, that's JadeXD20 at checkout. I mean, 48% off your first subscription is huge. Or if you just want to get the one-time 20% off, that's great too. But again, use that code JadeXD20 at checkout.
From that moment, I imagined there being a march that would get people that would come from all over the country to demand to Congress for the legislation to be passed, making January the 15th, or his birthday, a national holiday.
Stevie started his marches in Washington too.
And we're back. So, how was your week?
Oh God, yeah, we had one of those too, huh?
2 weeks we haven't been on. What's the Tiaga?
Oh, I spoke on a panel. I don't think.
Yeah, you did.
I spoke on a panel. It was an advertising panel. Shout out to Danielle from Heinz. She invited myself, Chef Kwame of Tatiana, and John of Ghetto Gastro to speak on how food culture, how we've pushed the
Ghetto
culture. Ghetto Gastro.
Sugar-free pastries, Pop-Tarts. Yes, okay.
Yeah, they
Target.
Yep, and they have air fryers and coffee machines, and they do a lot of community service, especially in the Bronx, because that is where they are from originally. So doing a lot for the community, very involved in the fashion world, and just have been doing quite a bit. Ghetto Gastro's been around for about 12 years. And so the three of us spoke on the panel, which was really dope. And then I went to Tatiana later to eat, which I have been trying to get into for over a year. Over a year I've been trying to get into Tatiana. And so I got to go and experience, and that was a good time. So that was dope. And then, just been doing a lot of momming, summer vacation stuff, skating, movies, that kind of, keeping the kid occupied. And oh God, I think that's and then, keeping myself updated with this shit and just trying to enjoy, the bit of this summer that we have, especially since it feels like last year we didn't have one. So trying to enjoy this bit of, my corner of the boiling earth. And so, yeah, that's pretty much been the last couple of weeks. I'm trying to think if there's anything I missed, but if it will come to me. What's been going on with you?
Oh boy, what happened? Went to a Big Brother party. That's what I had to tell you. I can't tell you on camera. Yeah, I went to a Big Brother party. It was good times. It wasn't with anybody from Big Brother. It happened to be like executives from other networks.
Okay. Interesting.
And it was like, okay, like they're all homies, and it was like, whenever you realize. This was like one time, me, Crystal, Kia, and Dr. Davis was hanging out one time, and we were like, there's a lot of niggas here with degrees, and like, like there's a lot of degrees at this table. And that's what when I went to this thing, I was like, you know, their night might be like A-list, but there's a lot of famous niggas in here that are responsible for a lot of famous shit. And I was like, oh, okay. Validation. I'm in the right place. I'm in the right place.
Okay.
But it was a wang dang. Speaking of Big Brother, I will be covering Big Brother each week, I believe, with Latoya and Asante on Wednesdays or Thursdays, I think.
Okay.
I want to say it's Thursdays after the eviction. So if you're looking for Big Brother commentary, you can find us.
And where will this live? Where can they find you?
On our it'll showcase on all of our socials. So it'll be on. I might even make it open to Jaden XD in public as well. But so it'll be on my Instagram and Twitter.
Okay.
And everybody, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yes. What else happened? I've been working a lot.
Yeah, same. That's why I was like, what the fuck has been going on? I don't know.
I have been working a lot. I don't know. My life has just been like a blur. I feel like there was like a few days where I was just playing Sim City because I needed to just like decompress.
Oh, I know what I need to tell you. Well, first and foremost, our dear friend Mary Akapash had a beautiful. She was part of I think it was like a
jazz collective.
Yeah, like a what is it called? A jam session, almost kind of. Really like 3 or 4 amazing female artists, creatives, musicians, and it was on the stoop of the Brooklyn Conservatory. So that was dope. And they have a summer series, so make sure you all tune into that. It's free on the street for you to go and just listen to live jazz music. Our good friends at Stella's, we talk about community. Our good friends at Stella's, you all know that I speak so highly of Stella's. Some of my favorite personal Jamaican food. Shout out to Dwayne and Vera and Arizona. Like, they're just phenomenal. We went last week after Mary's show at the Brooklyn Conservatory, and the next day the apartment upstairs caught fire, which then caused water damage and damage to Stella's downstairs.
No.
I know. So obviously they're a business. They have insurance and things, but they do have a GoFundMe set up for anything that you can donate. If it's $5, $10, $50, whatever. And this is again where we talk about community activating. They have a GoFundMe set up, which is essentially going to help to restore some of this quicker, because you know how long insurance takes, on top of making sure that the employees and their families, are not completely assed out when things like this happen. You have to remember all of the employees who all of a sudden lose income. And so, in this particular economy and where we are, nobody can afford that. And so if you can donate anything, $20, whatever, we will have that link posted in the description box as well. But yeah, we want to send our love. We want to send our love to them, and our prayers that they're going to get back up on their feet very quickly. And we know the community will show up and show out when they do. And so, yes, I wanted to make sure I put that out there as well.
Damn.
I know.
Yeah, life is hitting everybody.
Let me tell you, ping, we all Tommy the Hitman. Like,
people are getting fake shot and shit.
Oh God, who shot you? Nobody.
Nobody.
And that is all we're gonna say about that. Yep. That is it. That should be the title. That be the title of the episode. Who shot you? Nobody.
Nobody.
Okay. Now with wings, we are not like. If y'all don't, I can't. Oh God.
Because let me tell, it's in the anyway. It's a part of the playlist.
Okay. Yes. Same. Yeah. Same. Yeah. I got tracks.
Yeah.
Y'all know if we're gonna talk about chaos, negativity, destruction, and everything in between, we're going to do it in a joyful Black person way. So
yes,
we have a playlist of the current state of affairs, our feelings, all of those things for you all. We have to do things the Jaden XD way. So should we take one more break and come back with our selections? Or do we need to take another break or no?
No, we don't.
Okay, great. Wonderful.
Let's you want to start or do you want me to start?
You start.
Okay, so this comes from a playlist called How I'm Feeling. All lower cases.
Okay.
So, you know, there was a lot of news that happens, like from, you know, John Wilkes Booth coming back.
Yep.
And you know, Weekend at Bernie's dropping out, and you know, Doobie is coming in. So there's a lot of emotions. And so because as an earth sign, when there's too much going on, I disassociate and just stop caring.
Mm-hmm.
So the obvious choice was to pick the most carefree, easy breezy, I don't give a fuck song right now.
Okay, that's fair.
That's Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter.
I'm working late, 'cause I'm a singer. Oh, we look so cute, wrapped around my finger. My twisted humor, making laugh so often. My honeybee.
I'm working late, 'cause I'm a singer.
Oh, we have very different playlists.
Easy, breezy, beautiful. That's too much going on. So I just need to escape and let me listen to Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso.
Which is completely fair. You know what? I'm going to not go the opposite end of you, actually, and not do the first selection I had. And I'm going to switch it up because you know what I've been craving a little bit lately? Not even a little bit, a lot of it. With everything going on, I'm like, you know, I really, I need a reprieve. I need to go back to my days of ignorance when I only knew but so much. I always knew that, you know, you crackers hated us. But now I need to go back to a time where it was like, they do, but I don't give a fuck. Like, I've got so much else going on. And so a song came on the other day and I was like, I have not heard this in so long, and it took me to a place, and it wasn't necessarily a song that I loved by any means, but as soon as it came on, you will understand as soon as I say it. It is Sonique's It Feels So Good.
Feels so right.
Wait,
and a love that keeps me alive. I have a very interesting story attached to that song.
You got some butt? You gave some butt while it was on? Or?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Kind of. No, not really. I was dancing with...
Is that the song that was on when a nigga nutted on your pants?
No. But I went to gay night at Paramount's Great America when I was like a teenager, and I had to sneak out because my mother was like, "You're going to Great America on a school night?" I'm like, "Yeah, just me and my friends. It's open." She didn't know it was fag night, but anywho.
Oh my god.
So Chris from Real World, who's on like the challenges and stuff or whatever, he was from Real World Chicago, and I got to meet him, and we were dancing to that song.
So it was a combination of everything I said.
Yeah, I've danced with two queer real worlders, him and Karamo. So, yeah.
I told you I can't tell.
Can I tell you the Karamo story?
I too have one, but it's about a Karamo's family member. I'll tell you later.
Oh.
Yeah, he got a cousin from Queens. Anyway, what was I about to tell you? God damn it! It just escaped me. Do you remember the song that was playing when the nigga nutted on your pants?
It was one of those like it was outside, so it was like beats and like.
Oh, okay, copy. Okay.
Oh my gosh, that was literally 20 years ago. Oh my gosh.
That's why I was like, you have a direct song that links to a memory, and I was wondering if I never knew what the song was, but you don't remember, so it doesn't.
It's matter. Also I could tell you right now. It's yeah. I don't like. There's a particular like. I don't wear white pants anymore. Because of that. That's very traumatic.
Wait, they were white pants? Yeah. He nutted on white pants? Interesting.
Well, they were like off-white, so therefore I was able to like...
They didn't blend.
Also, it was a warm liquid that was like...
Oh, God. Okay, all right. Wait, you wanted to... pause playlist. You wanted to talk about car food?
So I don't know what's going on with the world today. Where like, have you seen like these content creators?
Yes, and when I tell
you,
they
have like a whole fucking tray like this, and they're like going
making
to town like
quesadillas.
Like a Waffle House on their fucking dashboard.
Somebody was making French fries, and I was like, the thoughts I'm having right now are nasty.
It took me back to that episode of Living Single. I had the
grilled cheese Kardashian. Yes.
I'm like this lady, and I hate that they're all like black creators, because then I get so annoyed, because I hate the fact that Keith Lee be eating in his car, making all them faces. I hate this other black lady who I wish Freddie Jean would eat in her damn car, because I would have like
I wish Freddie Jean would get a meal service.
I would have to worry about looking at her pots.
I want her to get a meal service and deliver their food to
Cook
her.
Unity.
Because girl,
get her
God's love, we cook or we deliver. Like
no, fuck God's love. I can't say that.
I don't know.
I don't like the director. I don't know if she still worked there, but fuck her. She's on my downfall list, and she can go to hell. Janine. I'm not saying her last name.
It would be a bitch named Janine.
But she could rot in 5 hells. You hear me? I means that.
Ooh, Janine, what the hell did you do to piss him off?
Do you promise? No, I'm committed to that idea.
You said she could rot in 5 hells.
I sure the fuck can. She sure the fuck can.
Oh, God. Ooh.
Now, that's change. I can believe it.
That is going to be...
I will donate to a GoFundMe if it sends her expressly to hell. If there's like a rally I could attend, like, you know what I mean? A pop I could join, because she definitely could kiss my ass. Raw and dirty. Like,
ooh, that goes right up under. Ooh, I will see her swim across the sea and dicks to slap the shit out of you. I put it. You can ride in 5
swim
hells.
Across a sea of pussy just to slap that
bitch. see, boom. But imagine swimming across the sea of dicks.
I am for hating her.
He said, "I will gargle pussy to slap the shit out of this bitch."
Hate her. God.
Oh, God. Well, Janine, it's fuck you too from me.
Her little bob. Oh, God.
Oh, she got a bob.
Sure the fuck does.
She got an Edna bob. What kind of bob she got?
Edna bob.
She got bangs.
Yeah, she does, actually.
Oh, God.
I'll never forget the day that I quit, and she was like, it was my last day, and she was like, I know you have like an unorthodox way of your counseling practices, but the clients seem to respond to you. I was like, it's because I'm black and they don't like you because you're white. All people, listen, higher ups in social services are always white, and that's the problem. That's why we can't get anywhere.
Let me look and see if this bitch is still... Oh, no, it's not. I don't think she works there anymore.
Oh, well, I should look for her, because you should always know what the enemy is up to.
Oh, absolutely.
So remind me after this to look for her.
Matter of fact, where's that bitch Nadia? And you too, Terrence Fontaine. I still promise God I'd bust your fucking kneecaps out if I saw you in public. I don't care if I'm 63. No, Terrence Fontaine can go to 10 hells. Okay? He can go to 10 fucking hells. I will walk across nails to send that nigga nigga straight down.
Listen,
Do you hear me?
Drive nails up my arm like Shelby and Steel Magnolias. That's how much I hate that white woman. Oh my gosh. I haven't thought about her in a long time. I have suppressed that anger. And this other bitch named Jill. Ooh.
No, if God said you'd have to get a pap smear every day to send Terrence Fontaine straight to hell, I would say, where are the stirrups?
Crank.
Okay, but because at some point I'm gonna get used to this. So, oh God, I love that. Well, your selection is next.
Well, you know, when I saw the news about about this attempt, TK attempt.
Oh, you thought okay, I faked my relapse.
Yeah.
Okay, I have something to tell you. I didn't actually relapse. I was just trying to get out of your house.
I was just trying to get out of your house. I fucking hated it. That is the wildest thing.
It really is. No, we haven't. We haven't
so much, but that was crazy. But I'm gonna tell you, I first saw the news and I got a little hopeful.
Same.
And I was like, is this the day?
I don't, because hello, we have a whole pig to roast in its honor. I've been waiting for this day.
So my next song is Bittersweet by Fantasia.
Well, then my next song after that is an Oasis Bittersweet Symphony.
Yeah.
'Cause it's a bittersweet symphony that's life. Trying to make ends meet.
That's life.
Because I was like, yes, Harambe. Or like, what did what was that in? He said Harambe in Boondocks where they were celebrating Kwanzaa.
Yep. Yes, he did. Yes,
Harambe.
he did.
And then when I realized that,
The Glorilla.
I gotta be honest, like, I watch wrestling a lot. Like, you know this. I watch it more times a week than most things. You can't tell me that wasn't a work. It reminded me of Walk With Me. So there was a episode of SmackDown where Stone Cold Steve Austin ran up on Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. This is not important to you. And all of a sudden, this big nigga, Kevin Nash, who's like 7 foot tall, was like, "Oh my God, Stone Cold's got a gun!" And it was a net gun. And it was like, okay.
Yep, I'm walking with you.
Or there was that episode of Raw where Vince McMahon blew himself up and was like in a car talking about, oh, he's dead, but he had to come back the next night because Chris Benoit killed himself and his family.
Yeah.
So you see what I mean? Like I've watched a lot of television programming to know what is true and what's not.
2 words, Lonnie Johnson.
I've even watched 45 in one of the biggest angles was Vince McMahon on Raw. Like it was Battle of the Billionaires. So that's how I was like, I know how you know how to take a bump and I know you know how to do work.
Yeah. Super soaker.
He laid hands upon. Oh, wait a minute. A loss of ducks. Stone Cold. Stunner. The Starters Umaga. Oh, what a sleep with a spear. What a sleep with a spear.
Yeah.
I just found out what soaking is.
Oh, the Mormon thing? Is that the Mormon thing? Yes. It's basically, you know how in rap songs they talk about laying in the pussy? It's literally that. They essentially put it in and then they just let it stay there until they nut, because as long as they don't do no pumps, it's not sitting.
Saw this girl today. She was talking about how she had her roommate be under the bed and shake the bed so that it was like friction would happen.
Yeah, but you're not doing it, so it's not.
But you're not doing it. That is wild.
Yeah,
and for you to call it soaking is also fucking wild.
You'll never listen to Sheryl Crow the same.
Gross. I'm soaking up her son.
Exactly. You know that's their theme song. And then afterwards they drink soda. Okay.
Dirty soda. Dr. Pepper with cream in it.
Ew. Cream and cherries. Yuck. Can you imagine? So you all know how I feel about my dear Stevie Wonder. XD and I actually have an upcoming episode for you all fully dedicated to the God. But I also wanted to highlight what a political figure he was outside of the musical genius that some of you don't appreciate, but many of you do. And so what I wanted to switch up a little bit with this particular playlist is I want to give you all a couple lyrics from some of the songs because I need you to really get into the zhuzh. And so, there's my front door. And so the very first song, technically the first song, but the next song on my playlist is Stevie Wonder's You Haven't Done Nothing.
But we are sick and tired of hearing this song, telling how you are gonna change right from wrong. Cause if you really want to hear our views, you haven't done.
Which also features backgrounds from the Jackson 5. So let me see. Okay, I'm gonna go into the chorus. Walk with me. But we are sick and tired of hearing your song, telling how you're gonna change right from wrong. Cause if you really want to hear our views, you haven't done nothing. This is a song completely dedicated. It was written, I think, when Nixon was in office. And it is a complete call in politics, especially to American government, on how they make repeated empty promises over and over and over again, but they don't do anything. And so that is why the song is called You Haven't Done Nothing on the Fulfilling This First Finale album.
Stevie, as a political activist, is something that should be inspired and looked at as far, like, especially, I will say, artists of a previous generation were more activists than not. And I guess it's because they low-key had to be. Well, no, they didn't have to, but they.
No,
but
I think it's no different than now. I think it's I think it's a
conscious decision.
Yeah, and it's integrity, and it's, you know, whether you are willing to sacrifice your human views for your success. And we see that Stevie clearly was not touched by. I'm not saying not touched. You know what I'm saying? Because things happen all the time. I think I said it on Getting Grown next week. It's so funny how that happens. But my mother called me the other day and was like, yo, are you being affected by, you know, your political views that you know, and being so vocal about your political views, or is your advertising, is this and that being affected? And I was like, probably, yeah, actually. I was like, but I can't worry about that. Because if I have this information and I understand what's going on, I was like, I'm not getting ready to not be a part of this community and not share this information when I'm already a part of this community just by the way that I was born. So I can't know this information and not speak on it and not be vocal about it as things continue to go on and on and on, and be worried about what's getting ready to just happen to me, because so much worse is happening to other people.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm really proud that I birthed you. She's like, but I know she was also thinking, but goddamn girl. So, what you got next up?
Okay. Well, you know.
It was the Verve Bittersweet Symphony. Sorry, that was going to bother me. Not Oasis.
So there is, because the vice president is now the front runner for the Democratic nomination for president.
Coconuts.
They're trying to find anything about her to discredit her, and of course there's that talk about her being a cop, which a lot of that is erroneous.
Yes,
which is like, there is like, she was a prosecutor and she prosecuted. She wasn't necessarily, things weren't all the way clean about her, I'll say that. However, it's not the way people have expressed their
not in that particular way.
No,
but I heard a very disturbing speech where she was unequivocally praising the U.S.'s relationship with Israel and Israel's technology, and
yes, but she also is the only one that has called for a ceasefire.
Yeah, technically.
Out of all of them. But my issue is, you know, it's kind of like how when I learned that Uncle Tom is actually not a pejorative term, and it's actually it's actually supposed to be one of a good term, actually, and people have turned it into something that doesn't truly mean.
Mm-hmm.
However, I say all this to say, so now they're trying to find all these things, dirt about her, like she was having an alleged affair with the mayor of San Francisco, Willie Brown, which, I don't believe that.
That kind of stuff so stupid.
But she also was like dating Montel Williams at the time, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I already knew, like, because they couldn't do this to Hillary because, but they will never. People will always make a point to over sexualize Black people, especially Black women.
Yes,
and so, my song choice is "None of Your Business" by Salt and Pepper.
Check it out if I wanna take a guy home with me tonight. It's none of your business. And if she wanna be a freak and sell it on a weekend, it's none of your business. Now you shouldn't even get into who I'm giving skins to. It's none of your business. So
if I want to take a guy home with me tonight,
it's none of your business. While I am not excited about her as the choice, I do agree with you that all of these things can exist at once, and Black women are often put in that light. And they are going to try to find many ways to slander her. I think it's stupid in politics in general when they use who somebody has slept with, or, unless it's like grab them by the pussy kind of situations. But outside of that, I'm like, okay, yeah, like you said, it's none of your fucking business. But if you're gonna call for anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, hold these people accountable for the shit that actually matters. Hold her accountable for the shit that we actually need, such as a ceasefire, such as real aid, such as cutting this shit the fuck out, such as breaking ties with these monsters. We are also monsters, you know what I'm saying? All of the cutting funding, like, hold her accountable for that shit. Hold all of them accountable as much as we can, even though that's not really done much for us. But bringing up who the fuck she possibly had in her bed, who the fuck anybody had in their bed, is just stupid. It's stupid. I'm going back into my Stevie's political bag. It's going to be the next couple of tracks, actually. And so, remember the last one was You Haven't Done Nothing. The next track, okay, also found on the Fulfillingness First Finale album. So clearly we see he was in a space. It is called They Won't Go When I Go.
No more lying friends, wanting tragic ends, though they do pretend they won't go when I go.
I'm trying to find the lyrics. Okay, the bridge. Unclean minds mislead the pure. The innocent will leave for sure. For them there is a resting place. People sinning just for fun. They will never see the sun, for they can never show their faces. There ain't no room for the hopeless sinner who will take more than he will give. He will give, he will give. The greed of man will be far away from me, and my soul will be free, and they won't go when I go. This is about getting the fuck up out of this shit. I'm not even scared to die at this point. So many people are like, I'm not scared to die at this point because it would be better than living in this. I'm not saying I am ready to go right now. I am not. But that is a lot of what we hear, especially from overseas. Like, I'm not scared to die in the name of, in the name of my honor, in the name of where I come from, in the name of my people, because living like this ain't it. And so that is Stevie Wonder's They Won't Go When I Go.
Let's take a break.
Yeah. Shit.
And we'll be back with more. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Life doesn't happen bi-weekly, friends, so why should payday? The money you earn can be in your hands today with Earnin. Earnin is just an app that gives you access to your pay as you work, up to $100 per day or up to $750 per pay period. Just download the Earnin app and verify your paycheck, then access up to $100 a day as you work and leave an optional tip. Any money you access plus tips are automatically repaid from your next paycheck. The vet can be a really expensive place. Our furry friends do get sick sometimes and we have to take care of them. And it's not like they can pay for it themselves. You might have to, and you may not have it right then and there, but Earnin's got you covered. So make Earnin a part of your financial routine and join Earnin's over 3.5 million customers who say things like, when I think about Earnin, I think about financial stability, security, and it gives me a lot of peace of mind. Plus, Earnin is designed to support you in the short term and long term. So, download Earnin today, spelled EARNIN in the Google Play or Apple App Store. When you download the Earnin app, type in JadeXD under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. JadeXD under podcast. Subject to available earnings, location, daily max, and pay period max. See earnin.com/TOS for details. Earnin is a financial technology company, not a bank. Bank products are issued by Evolve Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
These celebrations for the next few years until it's a reality, because I said on the tour that he said, well, how long are you going to do this crusade? I said, I'll do this until it becomes a reality, till we have a national holiday.
Right.
And I just believed from the beginning that we would have that.
There's no doubt.
And we're back. I think it's my turn, right?
It is.
So, people have been talking about what would happen if the person who faked their assassination attempt would become president. And we're still hurting and reeling from the last time they were president.
Oh, we're still hurting and reeling from when George Washington was president.
Right. And Reagan, honestly. But
and Nixon.
So my next song is Still Hurting from the hit Broadway play The Last 5 Years.
Jamie has new dreams he's building upon, and I'm still hurting.
So in the play, right? The play is about a breakup and them reconnecting after 5 years, and she's like, well, I'm still hurting, nigga. How you break up with me and you off with new bitches having fun and blah blah blah, and I'm still here a shell hurting because I love the fuck out of you. That's also another level of like hurt and love and shit we can talk about at another time, because that shit was like, oh fuck.
5 years, like, girl, that was a
sometimes it takes sometimes it takes a minute for people to get over it, niggas. But 5 years,
it is a you. This is a
speed up the process.
Okay, there's so many ways for us to. 5 years just seems extensive, but yes, in the context of this, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna read the lyrics from the next song. It is also a Stevie song, but I'm not gonna read the lyrics from him just because the title says everything that it needs to say. This was written for South Africa, actually. Remember, South Africa was just freed from apartheid a little over 30 years ago at this point. I
was alive.
Yeah, this is recent. This is not this is not long ago. A lot of times we hear words like apartheid and slavery and things like that, and that does not mean that they happened hundreds of years ago. Things are much closer in proximity than what we realize. And so, but we know South Africa is not the only nation that has faced apartheid. And so, Palestine, apartheid, like, it happens all over the place. Hell, that's what the fuck they did to the indigenous here when it was Turtle Island and turned it into the United States of America.
I'm telling you, if we could go back in time and be like, take this, and it's
hello,
KN95.
This is a KN95, okay? Put it on. And don't touch those blankets, like I said. Don't touch those blankets. Jesus Christ. But yes, the next song by our dear Stevie is It's Wrong, Apartheid.
Yeah.
That's
Flat out.
Flat out. I think I have 2 more Stevie tracks before I get into some others.
Okay, that's fair. My next selection, after, the president was like, I'm tired. This is my last scene and season. And so niggas went to work.
It's because niggas Deuce Bigelow ain't going to fucking.
Yeah.
Was it Deuce Bigelow who had narcolepsy? Who had narcolepsy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like,
when he fell asleep in the fish tank.
Yeah, I was like, Deuce Bigelow.
I have to show Chris Rogers all these stupid movies. You're the only other. You're like, you remind me of my best friend from high school because we were like Malibu's Most Wanted.
Yeah, I watched all them nasty ass Adam Sandler movies, all them Will Ferrell movies.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, that was us in high school because it was. I mean, that was the thing at the time.
This is before we knew he was a Zionist, staunchly, and his wife.
Which,
not surprised. Not surprised. Not surprised.
But people started organizing and pulling GoFundMe links and shit out the way or whatever. Now I have an issue, y'all raising all this money for these folks when in reality we can give these. If you raise money that quickly to give to a politician,
I'm not raising no money to people who have given billions of motherfucking dollars for weapons.
Yeah, like that could have easily been organized to end houselessness, hunger, a whole bunch of other things.
Bitch, dip into the petty cash for your fucking political race.
Right. So, but I will say it was interesting to see people mobilize so quickly. And my next song is by Shangela Laquifa, Working Girl.
Figure it out like Nancy Drew. Catch on quick like hallelujah. Who gon' check me, boo? Not you. I'm a pro. I'm a pro. I am a professional pro.
I came to work. I am a professional. I'm a pro. Pro. I'm a pro. No Kardashian collection up in here. I'm a pro.
I knew you were gonna have some delightful tunes to balance out what I got over here.
Did you see they announced another season of Drag Race called Global?
What the fuck is that?
Girl, they got
what is that?
It's like Canada versus the world, but like America. So it's like you got bitches from like Drag Race Nepal, Drag Race like Argentina, Drag Race.
But RuPaul's hosting it because it's here?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then like Drag Race Mexico, Drag Race Belgium, and then Alyssa. So like, and I love Melissa Edwards because she's ridiculous, and I think
she is. Yeah, she's pure entertainment, honestly.
But it's like all these international queens and Melissa Edwards.
She the only American queen on there.
Mm-hmm.
So this
is not like because on Canada it's like Eureka, Kennedy Davenport.
So it's all stars, but in Canada,
it's all stars. They've learned how to remix all stars to get the queens who have given them money or made them money. Let me say that, and find a way to put them back on the thing so they could generate more money because they know that they're a cash
Let me tell you, Kennedy Davenport needs to fucking steal Shangela's song because that is your actual working girl there.
Because I'm a pro.
She's a professional. Like I was like, bitch, you're in Canada. I saw you in Vegas. You be on TV. Like Kennedy be working. Do you hear me? Ooh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for that lovely tune.
You're welcome.
My next Stevie selection, second to last, I believe. I'm gonna read you some of the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
People keep on learning, soldiers keep on warring, world keep on turning, 'cause it won't be too long. Powers keep on lying, while your people keep on dying. World keep turning, 'cause it won't be too long. That is higher ground.
People keep on learning. Soldiers keep on warring.
I'm so darn glad he let me try it again. 'Cause my last time on earth I lived a whole world of sin. I'm so glad that I know more now than then. Gonna keep on trying till I hit the higher ground.
Jamming on the one, jamming on the one, jamming on the one.
As I was making this list, Steve Tristan came in and he was like, that nigga really knows how to put some views to a nasty beat. And I was like, he does.
Yeah.
I was like, he jams on the ones and twos while Will spreading a message.
Jamming on the one.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. What you got?
Someone who also put a message to a beat or a fierce piano riff, if you will. This whole thing could be categorized by 2 words, and it's the title of the song. So, "The Ghetto" by Donny Hathaway.
The ghetto. The ghetto. The ghetto.
The Ghetto.
Talking about the ghetto. The ghetto. Donnie also was a melodic nigga with a message.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
And Roberta. Be real black for me.
Yes. 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 I was gonna put that on here, but I have enough.
And Meta, I think Meta, it's not on Instagram. Meta's like, absolutely not. You cannot put this song on anything. I was looking for it one day. I was like, be real. No, Roberta. No, I was like, Donnie Hathaway. It was not.
The closest thing they have is Aretha Franklin's
Young, gifted, and black. And that's a fact.
Right.
What's your next one?
Well, so this is a general consensus of a lot of Americans. And, you know, and the lyrics of the song is, I don't want to go to work today. I'd rather stay home and play video games. I'd rather chill for real. I don't know how you feel, but sometimes I feel like I'm working for nothing, trying to get something. Everywhere I turn, there's a bill. Matter of fact, you know, swim the river, climb the hill. Complacency, you won't get me. No. But I gotta get up. And that's the way Americans feel about voting. Like, this is some shit now. I much rather don't want to do any of this, but I gotta get up. So, Jill Scott, gotta get up. I don't want to go to work today. I'd rather stay home and play video games. I'd rather chill for real. I don't know how you feel, but sometimes I feel like I'm working for nothing, trying to get something. Everywhere I turn, there's a bill. Standing now, swim the river, climb the hill. Complacency, you won't get me. No, 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 no. 'Cause I gotta get up. I used to play that song every morning going to work because I hated my fucking job. 5 hells. It was the same time I was working for that bitch Janine.
Oh, see, no, Janine, no, we gotta.
That's to me put to a place. I've purposely not thought about her.
Let's devise a plan.
My ears are hot.
Let's devise a plan. I'm not above it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Stone
not above
fruit
it.
season is in. Okay.
It was a drive-by fruiting. I thought about that live the other day where I threw those peaches at that man's car, and I was like, "Why'd you waste peaches?
Why'd you waste fruit? You know that's expensive."
But I'd do it again. I'd do it again, nigga. I'd do it again. Ooh, I wonder what happened to him. I hope he's in 5 hells too.
Listen. Swimming through a sea of dicks.
The same way Drag Race keeps reinventing itself and remixing shit, we're gonna do the same with the shit we hate and our downfall list. Yeah. This one is gonna be called 5 hells. Well, the same way that Jill Scott, you said Jill Scott was singing you have a dinosaur?
Oh no. They're dirt biking, even in lesbian Los Angeles. Of course they would have motorcycles in lesbian Los Angeles.
I was like, hello.
The stone tops are out.
The stone tops are out in stone fruit season.
Ever since I heard that lesbian say stone top, I has been a part of my vocabulary.
Ooh, it has. I'm a stone top.
I was like, that's genius.
I'm a
Why have I never thought about
top.
Because I can't call them white studs because that's not a thing.
Ooh,
the stone top.
You know what I just thought about? You can tell me if this is problematic. It probably is. You know, gays who say that they're reverse. They can say that they're convertibles, whereas tops can call themselves hard top sedans.
They can.
Yeah.
They can.
Yeah.
They can.
Yeah.
Yeah, like soft tops are called blouses.
Here you go with the Mac on the back. Here you go.
And you know, I've had to amend that because not for my personal constitution, but from what I understand, you know, a lot of the girlies like what happened?
Trill snuck to a place she knew she wasn't supposed to be, and I had no clue.
Ooh. But anywho, that's not important. Anywho, it's my turn, right?
Oh no, I didn't finish. The same way Jill was speaking the words of many around the world, but Black Americans specifically. So does Solange, and a little ditty called "Mad."
Because I got a lot to be mad about.
I got a lot to be mad about.
Well, we talk about community a lot, and the way that community is only going to help us survive anything that we do, right? Whether it's times of political uncertainty, unrest, or times of fruitfulness and joy, right? Sometimes, individualism is okay, but when you're together, things are way better, and to
Absolutely.
evoke change and all that good stuff. So with that being said, my next song is Peanut Butter and Jelly by Ninth Wonder.
You see it written all over my face. I'm sad, but I smile to hide it. You know I need you right by my side. I know that something's missing. If it's frontin', but I can no longer lie. You and me like peanut butter and jelly. Without you,
You and me is like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
With or without you, I'm cool, but sometimes I'm better with you.
Yes. You know what? That is actually fantastic. That is a fantastic genius selection. Peanut butter and jelly equals community. We should create an organization called Peanut Butter and Jelly. Yes.
It'd be like a sandwich.
Yeah, with the hand from Insecure. We
From
got y'all holding a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah, I see that.
With kids standing on top.
Yeah.
Yes. I see us creating
I've always thought of us like creating a nonprofit at some point.
Yeah.
When we get real money.
Yeah, or funding.
Yeah.
You know, it's like people who open restaurants, but they've never ever worked in the service industry. We would be niggas who open a nonprofit who actually give a fuck about the community, and so we would run it, and in the most equitable way that we possibly can. I see that for us, and we should call it Peanut Butter and Jelly.
It'd be a community kitchen.
Yeah. Yes.
Kitchen and like workshop for like digital stuff, and like if the elderly want to learn computing, or people in the community want to learn how to do what we do.
Yes.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
We go together like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah. With or
we need to
without
go
you,
buy
I'm
that
cool.
right now. We need to go buy that right now before we even release this.
Yeah.
For you thieving niggas out there. And I don't want to hear nobody talk about, well, I'm allergic to 5 hells.
I can't stand
5 hells.
As I'm with somebody who has an allergy to food, I roll my eyes so hard. I'd be like,
There we go.
I'm so glad. Like shellfish, I guess I could get over it, but I'm so glad he's not allergic to peanut butter, because I would have been like, this is
gonna make my life a living hell, honestly.
Right. There's one thing, like I'm allergic to penicillin, so I can't.
So is my father, who is also a Taurus. Very interesting.
And I found out later in life.
So did he, when he blew up like the motherfucking Elephant Man.
Oh, I lost 20 pounds because I was throwing up and shit or whatever, because I was trying to like. When did I first? This is back in January. I discovered. I was like, oh, I have to go to the urgent care. I am dying.
My father, they gave him penicillin. He swore. And I feel like maybe that's when he discovered he was allergic, which if I was alive, he was in his late 20s probably. Because actually, no, it might have been because they had me at 20. So.
Yeah. So he was. Yeah, I realized when I talked to my doctor, he was like, "Yeah, people develop allergies at any walks, at any ages in life." Like this white girl I saw on Instagram, she had a pickle allergy she had no clue about until she went to a pickle festival.
The fuck?
And like her eyes swelled the fuck up, and because I guess she had way too much. I don't know what chemical is a byproduct of pickling or whatever the fuck, but like probably all the salt, but her eyes swole up. And like her lips were super big, and they were like, "Were you?" And she was like, "No, I just had pickles."
What was it? Just cucumber pickles? Like, I wonder if it's cucumber pickles, if it's like
I'm
vinegar,
assuming,
salt.
I don't know, because she was drinking a whole bunch of other, like she had a regular classic pickle, and then she had pickled lemonade. She had an egg roll pickle. Like she went to a pickle festival,
right?
So she had a whole bunch of everything was
what
pickled.
It is she's allergic to? That's interesting.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I've never heard of a pickle allergy, so I'm like, I can't. So I was like, I don't know about if it's a cucumber, an allergy to cucumber, but it had to be something in the pickling liquid, or if you were eating something else that was pickled.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm curious about. I have a homeboy who developed a sesame allergy later in life, so he can't eat tahini. Like, when you order Chinese food, he got to be real specific. If we order Mediterranean food, like he can't have the hummus. When I went up there and like cooked, I had to try to figure out. a tahini alternative to, like, we were testing out stuff to make hummus just because he was allergic. It was very interesting. I forgot my very last Stevie selection before I moved on to Solange, so I'm going to go back to it. You all may recognize it. I don't know if I put this on another list. I might have before, but you'll recognize this song. It was sampled by, you know, a little rapper named Coolio, who has since passed away. Yes. But Stevie is the original song. It's called Pastime Paradise.
And wasting most their days in remembrance of ignorant soul dispraise. Tell me who of them will come to be? How many of them are you?
Tell me, why are we so blind to see that the ones we heard are you and me?
That's the Coolio version. The
Yeah.
Stevie version says they've been spending most of their lives living in a pastime paradise. Been spending more, you know, they repeat it or whatever. And then he goes into, tell me who of them will come to be, how many of them are you and me? Dissipation, race relations, consolation, segregation, dispensation, isolation. We talk about community, exploitation, mutilation, mutation, miscreation, confirmation to the evils of the world. A prophet. But also, they have not changed how they move and operate. And so the things that were applicable in 1974 are applicable now.
Yeah.
Or 76, because Pastime Paradise is on Songs in the Key of Life.
Well, I have a couple more songs.
Okay.
I was going to save this for my ending, but I have another one. Mm-hmm. This is probably one of the illest political songs ever, and probably one that rings the most true. And I was talking to Chris Rogers this morning about it, actually, because we were talking about Matthew Knowles, and
who I met through Terrence Fontaine, two evil niggas.
And remember, Miss Tina shouted Terrence Fontaine out. I showed you that on Instagram when she was talking about I forgot whatever it was, but she shouted out Terrence Fontaine. Anywho, but yeah, he came up and we realized that because we were talking about like political endorsements, right? And we were saying how like, and oddly enough, if the Taylor Swift fans got information, you know, they can mobilize and move the selection along, right? People want to say, oh, liberals, blah, blah, like, no, them motherfuckers are them and K-pop fans. Never see nobody like it.
Although there is one little K-pop group, I can't remember which one. They are in formation, and I'm sure all of their
music,
or their minions. I'm sure all their minions, you know, follow. But if all the Blackpink and
love them,
if everybody said something, these little niggas would mobilize. Okay, they might get the voting age down to 13. You know what I'm saying? Which is what
it'd be like fucking American Idol.
Okay, call it for who you want to vote for. Like,
but.
Yes,
that's what it should be, honestly. But my song, if he was still alive, like he could mobilize still, and that's Michael Jackson's "They Don't Care About Us."
Strike me, shoot me, they wanna shoot me, rape me, rape me, they wanna grab me. All I gotta say is that they don't really care about us.
All I want to say is that they don't really care about us.
All I want to say is that they don't really care about us.
He was barking at us for change, okay? Hey, don't play with it, don't play with it.
Michael Brooks.
Don't play with it.
Don't play with it. I saw her little bitty ass. I told you at that Boss Man D-Lo concert.
She comes knee high to my big toe. She's so tiny. Don't play with it. Like,
I need a rough neck nigga with a tuck.
Yeah, I'm like, girl, don't you get a check?
Girl, you are as big as my Zoom recorder. Stop.
Yeah, stop.
Ooh, that is hilarious. Michael Brooks is so. Somebody, please remix Michael Jackson's "They Don't Care About Us" with Lola Brooks.
They don't really play with it. It's because she's so aggressive, and it's like, girl.
Ooh, but she's so teeny.
You're like 2'7". They're like her weave drags on the floor because she's so short. It's so. I don't subscribe to her music for that one song, and I'm just like so fascinated.
She looked like a Bratz doll from I don't East New York. I don't. You know,
give me pesos. Why are you so aggressive?
Don't let her give you no head. She just bite the dick off. Oh my gosh. Ooh, little Lola Simmons. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, that just cracked me up. Okay, we'll do a couple more each. Okay, I'm gonna get back serious again. So there is a singer, a black British singer, I believe of Nigerian descent. His name is Labi Sifre. And you all have absolutely heard some of his songs and or melodies sampled elsewhere. But he was a prominent singer, and he has a song by the name of My Song.
And sometimes you don't hear me, but you don't have to be near me to know that I'm singing. This is my song.
And I thought the words were beautiful because no matter what happens, whether it be catastrophic, whether it be inhumane, no matter what happens, there's certain things that they can't take away from us as a people. And so some of the lyrics of Labi Sifre's My Song is, this is my song and no one can take it away. It's been so long, but now you're here to stay. And I wonder if you know what it means to find your dreams come true.
And I wonder what it means.
This is my song and no one can make it a lie. It's been so long since someone could make me cry. And I wonder if you know what it means to laugh as tears go by. I may not always sing in tune and sometimes you don't hear me, but you don't have to be near me to know that I'm singing. This is my song and nothing can make it die. It's been so long and it's stronger. I know why. And I wonder if you really, really know that as long as I live, I will sing my song for you. And then the song goes on. But I thought that had beautiful lyrics because that's one thing that they can't take away from us is our joy and our resilience, and even finding joy inside pain and inside atrocity. They can't take that away. And they can't take the community aspect away of us singing the songs for other people, even if they can't sing it for themselves. And so I thought that was a beautiful selection. Labi Sifre's My Song.
Yes. I have two more and then we can wrap this up.
Okay.
My next song, it's first of all, it's very interesting because people think they are from the South and Bible thumping and stuff, and they're not at all. They're actually from the Bay Area here in California. And the song is actually about getting the hell out of here because shit is wild and I'm tired of people. I'm tired of their antics, whether it be political or otherwise, and I got to get out of here. And it's Up Around the Bend by Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Come on, the rising wind. We're going up around the bend.
Yes.
I actually really love that song.
Yes, I do as well. I do as
Come
well.
on, the rising wind. They're coming up around the bend. Yeah. There's a piece of perpetual motion. It's on a crystal day. They sang that.
That is a jam. That is a jam. That is a jam.
Yeah.
I got Tristan to agree to go to the Chicago and Earth, Wind and Fire. Nigga, I will be in that bitch looking stupid. I don't care.
Yeah, you gotta wear brown. You gotta wear brown for the season.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to wear brown. He's going to have his grills in. We are going to look like we absolutely do not belong. Actually, maybe I will look like I'll put on some clogs. You know what I'm saying?
You put your hair in a ponytail.
Yeah, you know.
You gotta get Tivas.
I have 2 pair. So.
Of course you do.
Crunchy girl, at least 2 pair. Stop. I'm about to be in that bitch with a dad cap and some Tivas, nigga. Oh, I cannot wait. I was like, now, do I want to buy a seat or do I want to get lawn seats? Because the lawn, you get to buy the lawn chairs, and that's fun.
Yeah, I was about to say that is the most auntie and uncle thing, is to get the lawn chairs.
Right.
And that way you bring your own lawn chair that you got from the Sharper Image, because that is specific.
You don't even have to bring your own for this one. For this, I don't even know if you can. But for this one, if you buy the lawn seats, then you can buy the lawn chairs as your seats. So I was like, do we want to be stadium side or do we want to be lawn side? Because I don't need to be up on the close. I just want to be in the vibes. You know what I'm saying? Wishing you were here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the gays try to fucking kill me. Why, Mark and the gays, my girls, they were like, Kay Trinata is having a concert going on tour. Now I love Kay Trinata's music. But I also was like, I'm not fooling with Ticketmaster because they could go 6 hells.
So yeah, 10. Honestly,
them and Janine. Anyway, and my first grade teacher. So like they so like, it was a group chat going on, and I was like, oh, this is a lot. So I go on, I'm in a queue. I was like, oh, absolutely not. They're like, okay, well, we got tickets. Okay, it's cool, whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, so where are we sitting? They're like, sitting. I'm like, sit.
Standing room only.
And I don't know why I didn't think, like, why would I sit down at a Kay Trinata concert? Like, I feel like that would be like the ultimate like dance party, which a decade ago, fully invested, apart, like encouraged, empowered, emboldened to attend. But like, I smell 40. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I
like roasted chicken and vertiver.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Like leather oud. You know what I mean? Like I it's just not
I told you that was me at that Boss Man D-Lo concert. I was like, this could be fun. But I just got off of a 9-hour flight. 2, I am jet lagged as fuck. And 7, I don't have a chair. And that also falls in 6, 5, 4, and 3. And 8, I didn't bring my weed because I didn't know it was a weed friendly venue. And it's nothing but niggas smoking around me.
I've learned to just bring weed with you.
I know. I have too many times.
If they're like, you can't enter with that, I'd be like, okay, give me a minute. I'll smoke it. And then I'll be back. And we good.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
I generally carry my Crown Royal bag, but with this, I just.
Yeah. No, it makes sense, especially that venue, and I get it.
Yeah, but now, please.
No, like, you know what happened before Renaissance? I said, Crystal, come with me. She was like, okay. So we went down to Target. She was like, okay, what do we need at Target? I took her straight to the Dr. Scholl's. I was like, I need these. And she was like, why are you so old? I was like, girl, I was like, I'm not going to sit down, even though we do have seats at a Beyonce concert. I'm not going to sit down. And 2, I need support.
The only time I sat down at Renaissance was when I went to go smoke my blunt below the seat. You know, because they was trying to be, they was trying to be fake security. Oh, God, we all know Beyonce blows the blunts. Like, stop.
Like, I could have done a full kilo of cocaine and nobody would have cared. Because somebody next to me was doing the exact same thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't,
in
outside
silver.
the kid in aluminum. Like, you know what I mean?
I want to find the landfill that has all of the Renaissance outfits. That needs to be a Google image picture. That needs to be Google World. That needs to be.
Yeah.
I want to find that.
Talk about contributing to the carbon footprint.
Hello. As soon as I realized, I was like, she did not pick this color palette that literally nobody is getting ready.
Where am I going to wear that?
Because we haven't done that since 1999 December when it was getting ready to turn into 2000.
When a scrub is this guy who thinks he's fine. That's the last time I wore.
Okay, and they remixed it with pigeons. Like, that is the last time we were wearing a plethora of silver.
And mail was the last time.
Oh, God.
It's your turn.
Second to last track, right? I have so many more, but
Same, but we're coming up on
a while. My second to last track. So you all know him from shows such as Flavor of Love, and the show he was with the very big white lady in that house, and they were a very odd looking couple.
Oh, Brigitte Nielsen.
Yes. The lady who smoked all the cigarettes.
Foofy.
Foofy! Oh my God, I forgot about that. They were such a nasty couple.
I watched every episode.
I did too. Oh, they would go into the covers. I'd be like, but I can't stop watching.
Because
it was so.
It's like a car crash, like caused by a train on 9/11. Like, I can't turn away. Like,
because there was a rat on the tracks. Like, it's crazy. It was nuts. But before Flavor of Love, before that fucking show that I forget the name of, and all of his antics all over TV, Flavor Flav was a part of a group called Public Enemy. And Public Enemy did a lot of scream rapping. I believe they are the original inspiration for Meek Mills. But they were also very political in their songs and musical selections. And so the one that I've chosen today is Public Enemy's Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos.
On the strength of situations unreal, I got a raw deal. So I'm looking for the steel.
Hey, yo, Chuck, you serious? You in the justice, man?
Word 'em up. I'm looking for that steel.
Yo, man, we gonna break you out of there, man. We ain't going out like that, man.
Don't you know?
The first verse opens with, I got a letter from the government the other day. I opened it and read it, and it said they were suckers. They wanted me for their army or whatever. Picture me giving a damn. I said never. Here is a land that never gave a damn about a brother like me and myself because they never did. I wasn't with it, but just that very minute it occurred to me. The suckers had authority. Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos.
I had asked the other day, just in general, people, like, do they still do like selective service? And I just saw on the news that they're implementing secret selective service again.
Yep.
Because you know, the young people ain't signing up like they once did for
because they're not with y'all's bullshit. So they're trying to draft young people again.
Niggas is learning C++ instead. You know what I
mean? May you put it to good use, young people. May you put it to good use. For real. Not
But yes, Public Enemy as the Chuck D of homosexuality.
Exactly. Hello.
I love it. So my last song. You know, I don't even need to explain it. Coconuts by Kim Petras.
My coconuts, you can put them in your mouth. Right now, right now, right now, right now. My coconuts, watch them bounce up and down. Bounce up and down.
My coconuts, you can put them in your mouth. Double entendre. Right now, right now, right now, right now. My coconuts. Margarita-tas. Like Mary Kay and Ashley.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, more, coconut tree. Suck my tits because y'all mad. Like, it's all relative. My coconuts. You can put them in your mouth. Right now, right now. Right now, right now.
Oh god. Okay.
Quiet in the ocean. Very tatas.
Oh my god. Okay. That is too perfect for your last selection. I would also like to very clearly state that is not an endorsement. We do not endorse anybody over here. We just don't endorse one that we don't.
I can tell you, I hate
Maxi Pad ear. Get fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
It had it on the wrong fucking ear. I was like, this is how you know. Continuity in film is so important.
Let me tell you something, okay? When they do those confessionals, they wear the same outfit. They got to style their hair in the same way, the same jewelry. Like, you cannot go and switch the script up when it's this. And
I'm like, you did television. You know this.
But you know what? His people are too fucking stupid to even pay attention or care about the details, which is alarming and frightening. Yeah. My last selection of the evening, mother of Maya Rudolph, queen of falsetto, queen of range. I'm not talking about Mariah Carey. I'm talking about Minnie Riperton, who came before Mariah Carey birthed the bubble bath that we all know and love today. But she had a song that is called Reasons, and I thought it was a perfect representation of how I feel in this fight and why I do this every week now, and why I feel compelled to do as much as I humanly can in all of these causes and genocides that are happening worldwide. It is because all children are my children. It is because your fathers are my fathers, your sons are my sons, the mothers are my sisters. You know what I'm saying? And again, all of our struggles are connected. And Minnie Riperton says, the reasons for my life are in a million faces. Like aching promises, I feel them in my bones, slipping through my fingers to dance upon the road. The reasons for my life are more than I can hold. But oh, the sweet delight to sing with all my might, to spark the inner light of wonder burning bright. You're not alone, you're not alone. The reasons for my life are buried in deep places, whose warmth will waken them. These seeds that I've sown, ringing through the madness to crash against the cold, the reasons for my life cannot be bought or sold. But oh, the sweet delight to sing with all my might, to spark the inner light of wonder burning bright. You're not alone, you're not alone. The reasons for my life are filling all my spaces, like rushing waters flow, they carry me along, twisting through my memory to pull free from the load. The reasons for my life are more than I was told. But oh, the sweet delight to sing with all my might, to spark the inner light of wonder burning bright. You're not alone, you're not alone.
Reasons for my life are buried in deep places, whose warmth will waken them, these seeds that I have sown, ringing through the madness to crash against the cold.
And that's it.
Well, that concludes today's episode.
Yes.
You know where to find us. You know where to reach us. Holla at the kids. And until next time, America. Bye.
Fuck you.
Yes, we're moving.